Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabia, hope you're all well. So it's a lovely Sunday afternoon in Brighton and it's going to be a reasonably long video because I always say it's quick but it's not, it's going to be reasonably long because there's plenty of stuff to show you and talk about, so it's awesome. Anyway, to get straight into it, ear protection is super important as musicians when we gig, when we practice, when we go watch gigs and stuff. We always, well, I don't wear ear protection because there's a difference between hearing it and feeling the music, you know? And that sounds really pretentious, I imagine, but when I'm playing with the band, I just love the way I can hear everything super clearly and it's powerful and loud and aggressive. I just really enjoy it. And I know there are plenty of other guys that feel the same way. So it's a bit of a catch-22 because hearing is the #1 most important thing for us as musicians, but it's also a point of contention for a lot of guys when it comes to the fact you can't just hear everything you want without damaging your hearing. I've tried everything. I've tried foam earplugs, Alasin ones, I've tried the, custom moulded ones, and just nothing works for me personally. And the guys are always telling me like, you seriously need to get your ear protection sorted. So in-ear monitors, that was the next best thing for me, was just get some in-ear monitors because I'm protecting my ears, I can still hear everyone. So Dorje, now going forward, we're going to be using in-ear monitors for all the gigs and it's super helpful. I know Rob's benefited hugely live from having them in his ears so he can hear everything. So yeah, we've been working with a couple of companies that specialise in in-ear monitoring and custom moulding so that we can get moulded in-ears. There are plenty of companies out there that do this kind of thing, but what was really nice about the two that we're working with at the minute is they're just super nice guys, really genuine, they care about music, and they're just really helpful and the quality of the products is awesome. So the first company I want to talk about is Audiofly. They specialise in headphones, custom in-ears and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple of reasons that these are really good. Firstly, there's 4 drivers in them. Now obviously there is a range of products. You can go from sort of 1, 2 drivers, 3 drivers, 4 drivers, and the AF180s are the 4 driver model. And what that means is there are 4 separate little speakers, little speakers inside the headphone that give you the sound. Now what's really awesome about the idea of having 4 is you can start to incorporate things like crossovers. Now a crossover is where certain frequencies are taken care of by a speaker, like a subwoofer would be taking care of all the low end, and then that's going to drop off at a certain frequency where the tweeters pick up the rest of the frequency, so you get a full image of bass, middle and treble. Now if you apply that to a headphone, you've got 4 drivers in these with a crossover. It means you've got 2 drivers taking care of the sub frequencies and the low mid, and then you've got 2 drivers taking care of the mid range and the high end, and they sound phenomenal. So I definitely recommend checking them out. Just a little extra point to add to how cool the guys at Audiofly are. They actually came down to a Dorje rehearsal with the monitors to sort of deliver them to us and introduce themselves, and it was really awesome to meet them. A guy called Mark came down, a guy called Leo came down, and they work for Audiofly UK, and it was just great to see them. So there's a little bit of footage we took on the day which I'll snap in now so you can check it out.
Thank you a great deal for all of your assistance in making our ears feel better.
Go nuts. There's like I said, there's things in there. There's some unexpected presents.
This is do the job.
Do the D's. How does this work? Like a drum roll would be appropriate. But yeah. No, you
well, that's your job.
Yeah, that's your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at this.
Thanks. These are immense. Yeah, these are the highest spec. 4 drivers, crossover, which is wicked.
Yeah.
I'm liking the packaging. Feels like Christmas in May as well.
I may actually be able to hear myself for the first time in such a long time. Oh yeah, Tim Tams. But
this is like the Australian penguin.
I don't think you can eat those,
no,
though,
I can't eat them.
But I can.
You can eat them.
Yeah.
But as long as you eat them with a cup of tea.
We've got some wearable consumable.
Oh, it's the best. Wearable consumables. What size is
That's you.
Yes, mate. Do you want me to?
I just want to smile at the camera. No, you can.
So they come in this super nice leather case
Well, fashionable.
that you can see inside.
So
all
you've
the
got
bits.
Flight adapter, cleaning tool,
Brush
headphone adapter,
for all your ear squinting.
sorted tips. Go on.
You
Look
guys
at everyone.
really thought about the packaging in detail.
Yeah, it's the Australian guys. They're that was part of their thing basically. Is make the whole thing a nice experience, basically.
I like how everyone's just silently enjoying their Audiofly experience.
Whenever you've got new beautiful gear, you have a bit of a moment of appreciation.
This is Rob's pose. He's such an asshole.
That's awesome.
Those
bass is really,
it's
really good.
What's your first impressions on the Audioflies?
Face, really clear.
Yeah.
Really like, yeah. I think it's because the quad drivers, the bass is a lot like, you know, you got full on ears. You got that kind of like rumble. You still get that with these with the bass. I just listened to a few tracks now and it sounds awesome. It's really isolating as well, just with the foam tip. So I guess by the time we get these snugs we're going to put on top, which everyone's going to have a custom mould, they'll be really, really isolated as well.
I've got to pick a tune.
Are you about to hear them for the first time?
I'm about to listen to my first tune. I think I'm going to pick something really cool. Lamb of God.
Lamb of God. What track?
In Your Words. Oh!
I'll take that as a good sign.
Oh, that's thoroughly enjoyable.
The best bit is that you can't hear me, Rob. You're a massive bell end.
It's like wearing full-on headphones.
Yeah. Is it like having a bell on your face? Yeah, it is.
It sounds like wearing headphones. And what's cool with my bandana is it covers them up so no one even knows they're there. It's like the secret within.
Yeah, something like that will do. Yeah, I mean, there's kind of different arguments.
Well, only the best. Carnival. Yeah, of course. What are you saying, Dave? What are you saying?
To be honest, it's been quite...
Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
actually, they sound a lot like Grado SR 80Is, like on-air cans.
Yeah.
Like it's got the same kind of...
what's the...
I don't really know. It's like large without it being like...
It's transparent.
Like it's coming from compression. I find a lot of like cans that sound really large tend to have a compressed element to them. And that's kind of how they're like kind of using psychoacoustics to create something sounding big.
Yeah.
Which you'd expect they'd have to do with something so small.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that same like compressed...
I like the fact you can hear every instrument really clearly.
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully there'll be the same sort of separation on stage.
You getting the thumbs up, Dave?
Yeah.
Nice.
You get like a group hug on camera like this. Just like, make it really awkward. Really awkward. There you go. Oh, that's good. That's better. Thank you very much.
So that's Audiofly. That's the guys that take care of the in-ear monitoring. As I said, really excited to be working with them. The AF180s are reasonably priced. I think they're roughly around £400. And they're really, really good for the money. But what makes them even better is if you can get them custom molded to your ear, because having a driver of that quality, when you go into the realms of in-ear monitoring that's molded to your ears, it costs a lot of money, because it has to be, you have to get your ear impression done, and then you have to go and send it off, and then it gets processed, and then they get made, and it costs a lot more money. But moving on to talk about the custom in-ear molding that we use to put onto the Audiofly monitor. And what's really sick about this is it's brand new technology, so it's awesome to be involved in like the first major project in terms of band and artist relationship with the brand, to be involved, you know, right at the start of it. So Snugs earphones are based in the UK, and I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of the guys of Snugs and how they go about scanning your ear to get the in-ear impression done with laser technology, and basically how they go about fitting it and then the final product. There's also an interview with the owner of the company and just some footage on how we got our ears scanned to get the custom moulds for the in-ear monitors. So here we go.
Do you want to explain what's happening, Rob?
What's happening is we're about to be hourly probed by our friends from Snugs. Essentially, they're going to scan the inside of our ear with a laser. Is that correct? Yeah. Laser, and make a little computer-generated map of the inside of our ears to then create
custom molded in-ear plugs, but
in-ear plugs. Yeah, that's, I was looking for the generic term. This kind of thing, but without the wax.
Minus the wax. Forgive the wax. And so they're molded to my ears, and they're super comfy. But normally, like the acrylic in-ear monitors are hard. So they're great, but they get a bit hard in the ear, and if you're wearing them for a long time, or if you're like moving your mouth around like drummers do, then it kind of, the seal can break a bit. So it's going to be this kind of silicone molded to each person's ear, and it's actually going to fit over our new AudioFly monitors we've got. So these buds will come off, and you'll see them when they're done. The whole thing is going to fit as a silicone around here, and everyone's going to have their own custom mold that'll be super comfy.
Sweet. Check this out. This is a 3-dimensional. This is what we're making.
Oh wow.
That's Emma's ear.
That's insane.
Wow. And that's the number of data points that we take.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
You're
amazing.
going to know more about the inside of my body than anybody else.
Rob.
What? Stating an actual biological fact.
My name's Paul Joban, and I'm the founder of Snugs Earphones.
Tell me about yo-yos and how you started off with the product and then you ended up with what you do.
Well, believe it or not, I used to work for the Stock Exchange in London, and I got bored of being a yuppie, and I became the national stunt kite champion back in 1987. After being stunt kite champion for 3 years running, I chucked in working in the city and started a business in Bristol selling kites. And selling kites ended up into selling juggling balls, and juggling balls led on to frisbees, and frisbees then led on in 1998 to yo-yos, and we then started the yo-yo craze in 1998, actually in Barry Island, which is just south east of Cardiff, and spread from there, Bath, Bristol, Reading, into London, gone to Blue Peter, and we created the craze of the year. And in that year, we sold 10 million yo-yos to 8 to 12-year-olds predominantly. We actually sold 2.3 yo-yos for every child in the United Kingdom that year. Created the craze of the year.
What's the best thing about Snugs?
The best thing about Snugs is, actually for me, is creating a new craze, creating a new trend. The fun and the enjoyment of engaging with people at all different levels and getting something from nothing to something which I think is going to be a huge trend, not only in this country but actually around the world in years to come. It's the creativity of it is the most exciting.
And what are the obvious and main benefits of the materials and the product itself?
The main benefit is that because of the custom fit, they don't fall out. Because they've got such a perfect fit, you then get natural noise isolation, you don't get sound leakage, and the other key benefit is the sound quality goes through the roof. It's why musicians have been wearing them for years. The grip comes about because they're made of a soft silicone material, and the soft silicone creates a really nice, tight, airtight fit. The fit is so good that I can actually hang my phone off my earphones now without them falling out.
It's
I just want to make sure that
there's no debris.
yeah, that you haven't got, you know, I don't know.
That's right in there.
Which is right up there. A nice, easy one to begin. At the moment,
You got to clean your ears, Rob.
So just this a bit, yeah?
It's a bit, yeah. You're gonna
Which one?
I would buy across it. Is that too much?
That's
Okay. Whichever.
yeah.
Yeah.
She put 2 in, and I put another 2 in.
And on screen, the image on the left
I'm afraid.
is the whole. That's his eardrum. So, wow. And that the blue line is the laser going in. And the thing on the right-hand side is actually this ear canal image being built up as we showed you before.
Wow.
So as Emma goes in here, you'll see the probe. You see where it's going green? There we go. Look, she's building. It's basically painting. It's actually painting the ear to create all the canal imagery.
In-ear monitors from Snugs. Look at Rob.
It looks like highway patrol in your ear.
He's a really nice guy. I went through him last night. He's a chiller.
How was that, Dave?
Right, I'm really bad at like sitting still. I have the same thing like Spike when he's tattooing me. He
Yeah.
always has the same issue. Like, I tend to like twitch quite a lot.
Fidget.
It's all right with Spike though because he's so like hench that he just pins my arm down. Like him holding my arm actually hurts more than the tattooing.
Wow.
Let's just have a look before. So that's before. Okay.
And now I'm going to get new ears.
We'll get an after shot as well in a minute.
I've always wanted new ears made of pink silicone.
Yes.
Can't do anything about it. Just get a fidget. He's like, right,
Got one of these,
pins my arm down.
thing out of it from me doing it. You guys are going to just do your thing.
Was that done?
That made quite the impression.
Did it hurt?
No, not at all. Oh, it was great. It's nice and easy, and
They're very gentle, aren't they?
definitely less intrusive than the old method of a bung down the ear.
Yes.
So to speak.
Perhaps like that, and we just thought I might have to just, you know.
Pin back to throw.
Yeah.
So those are the guys at Snugs, really, really lovely people, super helpful, and just a little bit of amusing footage of us guys getting lasered in the ear. But anyway, we've got the final product now, and they come in this proper nice little box, kind of like, it's a bit Apple inspired, but it's nice. And then inside, you got this little leather pouch, and then inside you have the molds. So I went for black and red for the right ear and black for the left ear. So, as you can see, this is them. Your in-ear monitors go inside these, and then these are molded to my ears, so they go right in like molded earplugs. You know, I can use these with the monitors, or I can just use the monitors as headphones, and they don't have to be molded to my ears. If for any reason they break, I don't have to spend loads of money getting them replaced. I just take these off, get a new pair, bang them back on, and they're molded. Super, super handy. So that's what Dorje is going to be using for monitoring on tour and just generally when we practice. We've got the AudioFly AF180 earphones, and we're using the Snugs custom in-ear molds that are creating that in-ear monitoring setup, which is fantastic. Now, with regards to the rig that we're using to actually monitor our sound on stage, we're doing it ourselves. I'll put a screenshot of the product up on screen now. Rack unit, sort of 16-channel mixer. But what's sick about it is it's rack, and you can essentially assign a mix to an output. So each of us will have an individual mix of whatever we want. And the best bit is you can control it with your phone or your iPad. So we can have this rack unit on stage. You know, we've got our wireless unit that goes to the wireless pack, and I can stand there on stage with my in-ear monitors in and dial in the sound that I want. And I can do that every single time. And it just means we don't have to worry about if the sound tech doesn't have the correct, you know, aux sends or whatever to get us a mix, and we don't have to rely on anyone other than ourselves. And that's the point I'm trying to get at, is that if you can get hold of this gear, if you're a serious touring band and you can get hold of this gear, you definitely want to look into it, because being able to control your on-stage sound, protect your hearing, and have great quality in-ear monitoring, you know, as a band, collective expenditure is not a stupid amount of money. And it just means you're going to sound better to yourselves on stage, you're going to perform better because you can hear yourselves, and just generally it's going to make a huge difference to your live sound. And that's why we're doing it with Dorje, because we've had to rely on sound tech sometimes, or we've had to rely on bad monitoring. We've had bad gigs, Rob's blown out his voice, I haven't been able to hear myself. Obviously, you know, we've done loads of gigs, and it's not something that makes you have a bad gig, it's just part and parcel of it. But if you can improve it, if you start to do a lot of touring and you become more serious, it's really worth it, because paying attention to your live sound is so imperative nowadays in the music industry. Playing live, if you're a sick live band, people are going to enjoy it, people are going to talk about you, and people are going to share it. So that is one of the really important point to help towards getting a better live sound. So hopefully this video has been informative, and I just wanted to say thank you to both AudioFly and Snugs for working with Dorje and helping us get our in-ear monitoring set up. As I said, I'll put links in the description below for the products. I honestly recommend you try, you know, look them up and see if it's something that you and your band might find useful. So if you've got any questions, comment in the section below, and I'll see you soon.